your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Temperatures are still in the 50s for a lot of us across Central Illinois. One of the spots that is not, Bloomington coming in at 48, but everywhere else is 53 degrees in Champaign as well as in Decatur, Mattoon as well. Again, Danville has a sensor issue there. That's why there are no current conditions, temperature, winds, anything like that coming from Danville. But you've got cloudy skies as well as the leftover rain that we had from earlier on our Roofing Dog INET Case of Summer's weather camera down in Mattoon. Now, the winds are changing direction. A cold front has now moved through, so our winds are picking up out of the northwest. Gusts could be approaching 30 miles per hour overnight tonight. That's going to have to clear out our skies as well as drop our temperatures down into the 30s, and will also make for, even though we'll see more sunshine tomorrow, a cooler day tomorrow. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
We've been fielding cancellations all day long.
Events are canceling across the state as more people are diagnosed with coronavirus, and the lack of crowds mean businesses are left taking a hit.
You've heard a lot of advice when it comes to coronavirus, but we may have something new. We'll explain.
I don't want to be in a position looking back saying only if we would have done, canceled this tournament.
The Big Ten tournament is a bust, but it's not the only thing canceled in the sports world.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
I'm mandating that events of 1,000 or more people be canceled or postponed immediately.
Large events won't be allowed in the state as leaders try to slow the spread of coronavirus. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. 7 new cases in Illinois were announced today. One of those is a child. The governor also said officials will use force to break up large events if necessary. He put a month-long ban on events with more than 1,000 people. And as for public or private events, he's asking if they have 250 or more guests, they should either be canceled or postponed. One large event that was canceled at the last minute tonight, The Price is Right live at the State Farm Center. The governor banned large events just a couple of hours before the show, so people who came to watch were turned away at the doors. More than 2,000 people were expected to be in the audience. Everyone who bought a ticket will be refunded within about 30 days. But people we talked with say you can't fix the frustration and disappointment.
It was a Christmas present from my 11 kids on my 60th birthday. So they know how much I love the show and thought it'd be fun. It was only 6 hours.
There's nothing we can do. We gave it a shot, and they made their decision, so we just have to hope it gets rescheduled.
Just a few hours before the State Farm Center made the call to cancel, they offered to refund tickets for anyone who was uncomfortable coming to the show out of health concerns. Now, before the governor's decree, several other large events announced they would either cancel or postpone. Ebert Fest, a film festival in Champaign, canceled. It was supposed to be April 15th through the 18th. The Virginia Theater is helping coordinate reimbursements. And the Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon has been postponed. More than 8,600 runners had registered for it. Organizers are trying to pick a date for later this year. We have a list of other cancellations on WCIA.com. Now, a lot of the event postponements and cancellations are putting businesses in a bind.
Yeah, hotels in Champaign and Urbana are forecasting big losses because of travel concerns and coronavirus. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen joins us now. So, Jennifer, this has already had a direct impact.
Paul, the U of I announced the cancellation of Mom's Weekend and the postponement of the marathon just recently, and both were supposed to happen next month. So there's been an influx of people canceling their hotel reservations, and that's not the only industry that's been impacted by this. The last 24 hours have been transformative for Champaign County's economy.
We're seeing definitely a huge decline in a lot of cancellations. Just because people aren't allowed to travel.
Hotels, airlines, restaurants, all taking a hit.
Major events that were going to occur have either been canceled or postponed.
Efforts to prevent the spread of coronavirus have put a halt on travel plans, creating a whirlwind of uncertainty surrounding anticipated revenue for businesses.
If you look at events like the U of I Mom's Weekend that's canceled, our hotels, our restaurants, our caterers, our retail won't rebound from that.
Jane DeLuce, CEO of Visit Champaign County, says Mom's Weekend typically brings in several $1 million.
We're going to see a huge economic downfall from just that sole event because that is a sold-out weekend for our hotels.
Jesse Hines, general manager at Courtyard by Marriott in Champaign, says the hotel is already experiencing the impact.
We've been fielding cancellations all day long.
This hotel, among many others in Champaign and Urbana, will be seeing the ripple effects of these event cancellations as the next few weeks and months unfold.
April is a really busy month for the hotel, one of the 2 or 3 busiest months of the year. The impact could be upwards of $100,000 in lost revenue for an individual hotel for April and May.
Marathon weekend typically generates close to $10 million in revenue. As it stands now, it's postponed with no talk of cancellation yet. But Visit Champaign County says if it were to be canceled, that would be a massive loss not easily recovered by many businesses. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Yeah, certainly a critical event to the community. They're looking forward to that date being rescheduled. Jennifer, thanks. Also canceled the IHSA boys basketball tournament, NCAA tournament, and Big Ten tournament. The Illini were supposed to play in Indy this weekend, but they're already home. Fans who made the trip to watch them play were stunned.
You know, we were a little frustrated that we weren't going to be able to watch the games, and really frustrated for the players and the universities that they couldn't finish their season. You know, we're really thankful. We're blessed that we have not contracted the coronavirus, or none of our family or friends.
Oh man, what a bummer. You know, you put this on your bucket list. Maybe we come back next year for the NCAA Final Four here in Indianapolis, and the Illini will be here.
That would be a good thing. The Big Ten says it will refund tickets. We'll have more on the tournament cancellations ahead in sports.
One thing that has not been canceled is Tuesday's primary election. However, the Champaign County Clerk's Office changed 3 polling locations that were at assisted living homes. Voters planning on going to Clark Lindsay in Urbana will be redirected to St. Matthew's Lutheran Church. The Glenwood voters in Mahomet will now go to Elks Pavilion. And in Rantoul, voters who usually go to Eagle View Retirement will vote at the Gathering Place. Changes have also been made at courthouses in response to the virus. 2 felony trials have been postponed in Sangamon County. A judge there also said jurors have been called in phases rather than all at once to minimize exposure to people who might be carriers. In Champaign County, officials are still deciding their next move. Officials in Coles County have moved away from storing visitor belongings to avoid contamination.
Champaign's mayor issued an executive order declaring a local emergency because of the virus. The city council will hold an emergency meeting tomorrow morning. They'll discuss an ordinance that would allow the city to operate effectively during emergency operations. And that includes council meetings, board and commission meetings, gatherings, purchases, and more. That meeting will start at 9:30 in council chambers.
Everyone deserves a spa day, even dogs. That's why some got one at a shelter.
Plus, there's a lot of information out there about coronavirus. So what is real? We'll tell you what a doctor told us.
And there are ways you can protect yourself from the virus that go beyond washing your hands. We'll explain.